Hey, hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Shasti. Here we talk about beauty, entertainment, celebrities, TV shows, movies, books, animes, and kind of anything else that garners my attention this week. And today, we're going to talk about everything that went down on Twitter like 2 days ago with Kimberly Foster, aka For Harriet here on YouTube, and kind of me breaking down the whole situation from start to finish and my opinions. I want to start off by saying this, that I am slightly biased towards For Harriet. She is my auntie in my head. She is one of my favorite YouTubers. She's one of those people when we say do the reading, she does the reading. Alright? She's very knowledgeable on the things she talks about, whether it is police reform and the abolishment of prisons to feminism, sexism, misogyny. She's very well versed in all those things, and usually I go to her when I want to be given the reading, when I want to talk about certain topics. So I do want to put out there that I am a huge fan of her, and in places I might seem slightly biased. I just want you to know where that's coming from, because I truthfully, honestly do love For Harriet. But I feel like this is a situation where it's like the internet was doing a little too much. But again, if I'm being biased, please check me. So yesterday, Kimberly For Harriet here on YouTube did a live stream on her channel talking about basically everything that happened on Twitter and also divulging some personal information about herself. So I think I'm gonna start at the live stream and all of that, so we can be given the background information, and then we'll go into what happened on Twitter. So on her live, she I hate this. I hate that against her own volitions, she had to release this type of information about herself. I feel like with personal things like this, if you want to talk about it, that should be up to you. But feeling like you've now backed into a corner and the only way you can defend yourself is to give private information, I truly hate that, especially for Black women, because I feel like Black women are not allowed to go through things personally. Our pain and our suffering has to be for the world to see. But when Harriet went live, she did tell us that she is a hoarder, that her father was also a hoarder, and she kind of grew up around him doing that in his home. And then as she grew up, she started having the same hoarding tendencies, from just start small as like having a messy bedroom, having a messy book bag, and then when she went to college, it was a messy dorm room, messy car, and then as a fully grown adult, a messy apartment. She also speaks about how embarrassed and ashamed she was of being a hoarder, because she couldn't have people in her life, because you don't want people to see you living like that. You don't want their judgment, you don't want their pity, you don't want all of that comes with being a hoarder. So because of that, she ended up pushing away a lot of her family, her mother, her sister, her nieces, because she didn't want them to kind of be in this chaos that she was living in. She felt embarrassed. And she remembers, especially her nieces, she absolutely loves her nieces. That's one thing about Kim. You won't know she loves some nieces, all right? Her nieces are her world. And she remembers how she felt as a child being in her father's home when he was hoarding. And she, as she said it, she wanted to protect babies. So she kept them away from her home. And she had made a decision that once she moved, she was no longer going to live like that anymore. That she wasn't going to live in a type of way that forced her to push her family away. And because of that, and because of the hoarding issue, she ended up getting a housekeeper to help clean, because Kimberly does suffer from anxiety, and she suffered from anxiety since she was a little girl. And as someone that also suffers from anxiety, I could resonate with her so quickly, because cleaning is also a very difficult thing for me too, where I get into this place where I just don't know where to start with my mess. And then I get very anxious about it, and then I push it off, and it piles up and piles up and piles up. As well as I get into spaces where it's hard to get up. It's hard to wake up and do things. It's hard to bathe, to just have energy and motivation to live life, which is why I pre-record a lot of my videos. I feel like maybe you guys don't realize it, but a lot of the videos on my channel that are not topic based are all pre-recorded. I'm days, sometimes even weeks in advance, because I don't know when my anxiety is gonna kick in, and the depression is gonna kick in, and I'm just not gonna be able to function. But I want to grow this channel. This is something I love to do and it's fun. But sometimes I physically can't do it. I mentally and physically can't do it. So I completely understand how she felt about just how overwhelmed it can be when you have anxiety. Kim also brings up the gender aspects around her condition about being a hoarder and how being messy is so hard for as a woman to be messy and be taken serious, because it's just like men are supposed to be messy and dirty and women are supposed to love to clean. Women are cleanly, women are tidy, women are prim and proper, and I feel like it gets to be a point where like no one really takes women who have anxiety issues like serious when they don't want to clean, because it's just, well, what's wrong with you? You're a woman. You should want to be tidy. You should want to be clean. And I feel like what people are not understanding is living in chaos, no one actually wants to do that. No one wants to actually live in a dirty home. No one wants to have junk piled up to the ceiling. No one wants these things, but they can't help it. When you are in a state of anxiety and panic, it's so overwhelming. It's like a weight is pressed on your chest. Do you think they want to live like that? Do you think people want to have a home that they're embarrassed to have people in? No. And it's worse for women because, again, there's all these gendered pressure put on women to be housekeepers and to be tidy and clean. And when you don't fit that stereotype, it's almost like you're a failure as a woman to people. And there's no way to be a good woman. There really isn't. Your way of being a woman is your way of being a woman, but unfortunately, society's not worked that way. Pretty much sums up like the first half of the live, and now we're gonna go on to what happened on Twitter. So a couple days ago, Kim had posted this self-deprecating meme about, hold on, so she tweeted, "The housekeeper when he comes into my apartment tomorrow," and it's the goofy meme where it's like, damn bitch, you really living like this. And so Kim is pretty self-deprecating. She pokes fun at herself a lot. When I saw the original tweet, I read it. I personally didn't see an issue with it. I was just like, yo, it really like that. I'm like, I looked around my room like, damn, I really should clean this bitch too. And I saw it and I kept it pushing. I read the word housekeeper. That didn't send any alarms off in my head. But, ooh, the girlies. The girlies were not having it. Now, Kim has talked about being like anti-capitalism, Marxism, all, the shit that people who actually do the reading be talking about. And people were really trying to drag her for having a housekeeper. So like, again, it's the way that like I really be just living life on Twitter. Like that Bird app, y'all be really stressed on that app. Because I saw it and I kind of moved past it. But the first tweet I saw when I was like, wait, something happening here, is someone had quote tweeted her and was like, housekeeper ? Which then Kim had quote tweeted that person, was like, I paid them $55 an hour. Which in my opinion, that's a livable wage. She's not paying them $8 an hour. $55 is definitely a good wage for somebody, especially for someone that's cleaning houses. But I think it's time we have a conversation about what is rich and what is not rich. Having a housekeeper, you don't have to be rich to have a housekeeper. If you live comfortably, I'm not talking about like upper middle class. I'm talking about if you live comfortably, because comfortably is, again, like money and success is all relative. Because Kim has said this before, that she is well off for a Black person. And I think that's very important. She's in a place where she's doesn't have to worry right now. But if something happened, like let's say she got very sick and then couldn't be able to work, a relative got very, very sick, all of that can be swept under the rug. So all can be taken from her. And I feel like y'all don't understand that like a housekeeper isn't just a rich people thing. You can be just regular middle class and have a housekeeper. I know a lot of people who are not super, super rich, but still can afford a housekeeper. If you budget properly, you can have somebody clean your house. But like, this whole thing kicked off into this huge storm. A lot of it was definitely projecting. I can tell a lot of people were projecting onto Kim, and I hate when y'all do that. I hate when you project all of your feelings and negativity onto another person who's done nothing to deserve this. And then, so after she replied to a couple of people, one person quote tweeted her, like clapping back and saying, quote tweeting a small account of a black trans person to thousands of followers to defend slavery. I'm gonna get back to that slavery shit. I'm gonna get back to that. But I truthfully and honestly hate when people do that. When people, again, also, what does this person being trans have to do with, like, I hate when people, okay, there's multiple things I'm gonna hit on here. One, y'all need to stop interacting with big accounts and then getting all, why are you bullying me, when they clap back. Most of these big accounts on Twitter are not rich people. They are everyday 9-to-5 bitches like you and me. Okay? They're not better than you because they have 50,000 followers on Twitter. Okay, let's start there. 2, why are you able to talk to big accounts crazy, but they can't defend themselves? Stop doing that. You have to stop doing that. Because y'all, that is your number one defense. All you big accounts are bullies. So stop talking to them. Stop engaging with big accounts then. Because a lot of the time, the people that say that shit be saying the most out-of-pocket wild shit. The most wild and out-of-pocket shit on that bird app. And then when the big account is like, you know what, I'm not taking this shit no more. Now they're a bully. How do you start some mess if someone's a bully? My other issue is when people use their identities as a weapon to be like, you're not allowed to be dragged because you're these things. Just because I'm a black woman does not mean I'm above being critiqued. That's an issue, that's a problem. You can critique me, even though I'm a black woman. Now, if you're dragging me is seeped in misogynoir, that's completely different. But if you're just simply responding back to what I'm saying to you, me being black shouldn't matter. The same way you being trans shouldn't matter. If you got issues with me and you talking spicy to me, I'm gonna drag you. Regardless of sexual orientation, skin color, ethnicity, don't none of that shit matter when we get spicy at each other on the internet. Again, I hate when people do that. When people really, because I feel like that's a really like thing to say, but stop it. Stop weaponizing your identities against people. When it has nothing to do with the situation, cut it out. Because there are valid moments when people's cloud paths are definitely seeped in like transphobia and homophobia and like, again, misogynoir. Those are valid those are valid times to bring that stuff up. But when someone is simply replying to you and now it's I'm a poor small channel, I'm a X, Y, and Z, don't do that. Y'all have to stop doing that. If you're gonna do that, stop talking to people. Okay, now to like domestic work being slavery. Are you serious? Being a housekeeper is not slavery. I'm sorry. I feel like maybe we've been in the modern age too long. We forgot what slavery truly is. But again, someone setting the prices for housekeeping, like, again, this person, she told them that she would pay whatever they wanted. And they said my rates are $55 an hour. That person is getting paid $55 an hour is not slavery. I'm sorry. That is not. Okay, that's not slavery. You choosing to be a housekeeper is not slavery. Like, I feel like people think people don't choose to be housekeepers, but when you have a housekeeper company or like you can set your prices yourself, that's not slavery. That was a choice you chose, because some people are not only enjoy cleaning, but are good at it, really, really good at it. And they have this skill and this talent, and they turned it into their own business. That's not slavery. I'm sorry if you think it is, because the thing is, there is still slavery happening today. And you choosing to be a housekeeper is not slavery. That is 100% not what slavery is. Another person had said that like only like people with physical disabilities should have a housekeeper, and I'm just like, again, one, you don't know Kim, you don't know what her body can and cannot do, so please don't make this assumption that you know her. Because she's an internet personality, she has the right to not share things about herself, and that's what we learned yesterday. We had no idea she was a hoarder. Because she is such a type A personality, you would assume that she's neat and tidy everywhere else. Saying that only people with physical disabilities should be allowed to have housekeepers completely like shuts off community people, again, who have anxiety, who have mental health issues, where it's like, it is hard to bathe yourself, to get out of your own bed, to take a shower, brush your teeth, to feed yourself. Do you think those people who are going through these bouts of really bad depression can also clean their homes because their disability, because their issue is mental, are they too not allowed to have a nice, clean home? You see what happens when you think you're on the right side of shit and then you completely disregard another group of people? I feel like people do this a lot when they think they're doing something good and they're not. Because again, there is so many different circumstances. For everyone has different circumstances. So to just be like, only this type of people can have X, Y, and Z. And then now look, you've completely alienated people who are going through something where it is so difficult to take care of basic everyday needs for themselves. Because it's so hard to get out of bed. And again, she has anxiety. She's a hoarder. Are you telling me someone who's a hoarder, because they're physically able but they're a hoarder, shouldn't have a housekeeper? You would rather them live being suffocated in their own chaos? Y'all, again, there are and then people who may not have like very obvious disabilities, like people who deal with chronic pain, and like, should they not have a housekeeper because it's not a visible disability? Like, do you see how like we could really talk about the people who also need it other than people with physical disabilities? Like, you're too busy trying to drag her and too busy trying to push a narrative on her. And again, you're talking about the fact that she's able-bodied when we don't know Kim. We don't know what she goes through every day in her life. Now I want to talk about y'all's issues with domestic work. There is nothing humiliating about being a domestic worker. There's nothing wrong with cleaning houses. There's nothing wrong with any of that. If that is your choice, there's nothing wrong with it. And I've seen this on Twitter, like those of you who view domestic work as unskilled work, that's bullshit. Because if it was easy and unskilled, you would be doing it. And you're not. Because being a domestic worker is not easy. It is very much so skilled work. And this is where the gender bias comes in, because domestic work is seen as women's work, and most things women do are viewed as unskilled and unnecessary. This also ties into the fact that domestic work is seen as women's work and therefore unskilled and doesn't need to be paid. Most things that women enjoy or women are good at are perceived to be women's work. The things women enjoy is always ridiculed. From the music and bands that women and young girls enjoy to simply wearing makeup. Makeup is viewed as this unnecessary thing because women enjoy it. I promise you, if more heterosexual men wore makeup, or like the idea of makeup was not purely put to women, we wouldn't have the conversation we'd be having about makeup. Y'all really do treat people who do housekeeping like it is the most demeaning work, and it's not. If you like to do something, it's not demeaning. And again, y'all were on Twitter just pushing all of these feelings that had nothing to do to Kim onto Kim. This is a person whose job it is. Their job is to clean. She gave them a job. This person's rate is $55 an hour, which again is a very good wage, which I was getting paid $55 an hour. I sure wish I was. What was wrong with this? There was really no reason for this uproar and to be like, you're supposed to be anti-capitalism. The thing is, it is almost impossible to not participate in capitalism because that's how our society is built. Now, what you can do is dictate the ways in which you act and work within capitalism. So again, she's paying this person a very good livable wage. $55 an hour is a good wage. That is how you combat capitalism, is making sure that these people who are not seen as valuable are getting paid what they deserve. It's making sure that these people have health care, making sure these people can eat at night, have a place to sleep. If you're going to be paying people, they should be paid livable wages. Also, it's like Kim brought up the fact that like a housekeeper, domestic work, is a paid service. Y'all get your hair done, you get your nails done, you get your makeup done, go and get waxed, get your eyebrows done. Like, we are constantly dealing with paid services. People going to the restaurants and picking up your food and bringing it to you. That's all a paid service. And we're paying people to do things that we could very much so do ourselves. But that's not lazy. That's fine, because you can learn to do your own hair. You can learn to do your own nails. I do it all the time. I don't do it lately because I don't see the point in doing it. But, like, I bought a whole kit from Amazon, and when I feel like in the mood, I do my nails. Like, I do my own makeup. There's plenty, all of these little extra things we don't have to pay someone to do. But we do. But for some reason, her having a housekeeper is the most outrageous thing you've heard. Like, girls are not paying upwards of $300 to $1,000 to get wigs installed. Like, that, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you have the money to pay for the service, pay for the service. But it's just like, when a paid service is a paid service. Now, she does bring up the classism of it, that, you know, during a pandemic, she is able to have a housekeeper, and she apologizes for what appeared to some of you as flexing, which, in my opinion, it wasn't flexing to me. But to those of you who are far more sensitive than me, it was flexing. And she apologized, understands that the optics of that does not look good. Now, in my opinion, she didn't need to apologize for that. I feel like that's usually saved for, again, rich people. Like, people like celebrities and, like, millionaires, billionaires. Like, they need to not be flexing. But just regular hardworking people. Again, like, Kim's not a rich person. She lives comfortable. She's definitely middle class. So I personally, why was it flexing? I don't think so. Now, this is what I really want to get into. Y'all issues with black women. Yep, brought right back to black women. The misogynoir in this situation, it's seeped with it. Because I've noticed that when anytime black women live above what you believe a black woman's means are, y'all get vicious. Y'all get attacking. I've seen it when this black woman, like, she was proud of the fact that she was able to buy a Tesla. And first, the men were like, you don't actually have a Tesla. And she had to prove that she did have one, which, again, I hate that y'all get on the internet having to have to prove yourselves to these niggas. Stop it. Queen, stop it. These niggas not worth it. But she proved she had a Tesla. And then some nignog got in the thread and tried to explain how it is affordable to get a Tesla. That, yes, you and I, us brokies, we too can afford a Tesla. And whose fucking world could someone like me afford a goddamn Tesla? And then it's like, see, this is the thing about people. They be showing receipts, their proof, but it be dragging them. Because it was like $2,000 just for the deposit. So you could, like, put in your order for a Tesla. And then it's a $10,000. It was just something where it proved that even leasing a Tesla is not for brokey. It's not for somebody making $8 an hour. But again, they went out of their way to try to humble her, because the idea that a black woman owns nice things, owns luxurious things, is doing things for herself, is not breaking her back with labor, don't sit right with them. Black women are supposed to suffer for you. Black women aren't supposed to do labor for you. Black women don't ever have good things happen to them. And it's like, y'all seem to not y'all really telling yourselves. This all this was. The idea that, because I don't understand. Her having a housekeeper turns to her being a slave master. A fucking slave. Because she has, again, you don't have to be rich to have a housekeeper. I know we grew up only seeing it on, like, the Jeffersons and, like, the Prince of Bel-Air, but it is feasible if you are middle class to have someone come in and clean your house. It is a possibility if you get paid a decent wage and then you prioritize your money the right ways, you too could have a cleaning service. It's really not that crazy. I know people who get their laundry done for them. Like, these things are possible. And these are not rich ass people. These are regular working people. But again, y'all just feel the need to not feel like black women deserve nice things. Because that happens on that bird app all of the time. Anytime black women have nice things, we must humble her. Anytime a black woman, again, is not suffering, it don't sit right with y'all. Black women do one thing and one thing only, is do everything for you. So when a black woman is doing something for herself, you hate it. You would absolutely hate black women just not living in anguish. And it's so gross, disgusting, it's bizarre. You're a bunch of losers. Do you hear me? You're a bunch of losers. Because if you saw this black woman having a housekeeper and was like, you a massa, you a weird bitch. You are truthfully and honestly a weird ass bitch. It's very weird. But again, y'all just simply hate black women. And I feel like that's not, listen, I feel like some of you believe because you are a type of minority, whether it's in sexuality or gender or race, you seem to not understand that you too can also violently hate black women. That across the board, no matter what, if there's a person that will be shitted on, it will be a black woman. Regardless of, again, whatever you are, like as a bisexual black woman, I'm fully aware of the fact that people in my community hate me for absolutely no fucking reason. For absolutely no reason. None whatsoever. You simply hate black women. And I feel like a lot of you think you're above, being checked for that because you're a minority yourself. That don't mean nothing. Y'all still hate black women. The people who do the most of your communities, you fucking hate us. And y'all not low, y'all not slick. And I think this situation boils down to the projection and misogynoir. That's what it is. Because it should have never gotten to this point. Again, having a housekeeper, and especially after she says, I pay him $55 an hour, the conversation should stop there. This man is not being unfairly paid. He's getting paid better than most of y'all. That's the crazy shit. This man is getting paid $55 an hour. You are begging the places you work at to raise it to 15. Like, this housekeeper getting paid better than most of some of your parents. It's really crazy to me. But he's in slavery? Okay. We're not going to talk about the fact that the 9-to-5 system is slavery in itself. Again, working 40 plus hours a week. Barely making any income. But this man's going, but Kim's the slave. Okay. Just say you hate black women. It takes less characters and less energy to just say, who I fucking hate? Black women. Just be honest with yourselves, because this whole situation was completely unnecessary. It was very stupid, very dumb. It was weird, because I saw the original tweet, and now here we are. We should, I broke this down to you in the comments. Explain to me how we got here. Did we need to get here, especially after she explained that she paid this man $55 an hour? A livable wage. A livable ass wage. And then people were like, it's a pandemic. Again, Corona does not live on surfaces. It's through, droplets of spit and things like that. That's how you get it. But if you just let them, keep the door open, allow them in the house, let them do what they gotta do, and then leave, and you actually have no contact with each other, there really shouldn't be an issue for there to be Rona. Again, if you're doing what you're supposed to do, just let them come in and y'all don't interact. So that point negated. And y'all trying to be like, this goes against your values. Paying someone $55 for a service? $55 an hour for a service goes against her values? She gave someone a job in the middle of the pandemic. He has another person for his business. Y'all points just be falling apart. It's really sick at this point. Y'all make these shallow ass points and they can just fall apart like sticks. It's really sad, truly pathetic. So that's pretty much it. Sorry I got a little bit heated. I do view Kim as an auntie in my head, and I respect her a lot. And again, do I agree with her all the time? No. But I like that about her, that there are places in which fundamentally we disagree. Not fundamentally, because I don't follow people I fundamentally disagree with. But like there are places in which we disagree, and I have no bad blood to her. I love hearing her perspective and her point. She's very poignant, very articulate. She knows how to really explain herself, and I admire that about her. I hope to one day be able to give my thoughts nearly as well as she does. And like sometimes y'all be going at her, and I'm just like, you have issues with her that has nothing to do with this tweet. And I hate when y'all do that. Y'all gotta get your feelings out of shit. If you don't like somebody, you don't like them. But again, y'all seem to only follow the people you hate. Can't relate to that one. I mute and block everybody I don't like. Okay, so like for this year, I gave myself a challenge to read 50 books. Right now, it's to read 20 books this year. And then if I get 20 fast, I'll push it to 30. And I get 30, I'll push it and push it to 50. But I don't want to make the goal 50 like off the bat because that's very daunting to me. And anxiety, don't want it. So the books, so this month alone, I've read 4 books. So I feel like I'm pretty good. I could possibly hit 40. But here are some books I'm thinking about reading. Kingdom of Souls by, is it Renee Barron? Saw Kill Girls by Claire Lagarde. This is kind of an epic love story by Kaysen Chandler. And then Leah on the Offbeat by Becky. So those are 4 books I'm thinking about reading. If you've read any of those books or you want to read one of those books, definitely let in the comments below. 1, which book should I read? 2, if you've read any of these books. Because I kind of like would like to do like kind of like a book club on my channel where like every like month we pick a new book to talk about. Like we all read it and then we all talk about it. I'm thinking about it, I don't know. But from those like 4 books like I named, if you know them, which one do you think I should read first? Okay, so that's pretty much it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.